Hey everybody, welcome back to the Print 3D channel. Today is September 12th, and that means day 255 of the 3DP 365 project. And on today's episode, we printed out Hammered Patrick, otherwise known as 404 Patrick. I bet you don't know why. Stick around to find out. Hey everybody, welcome back, and thank you for joining me here for day 255 of the 3DP 365 project. On today's episode, we printed out Hammered Patrick, otherwise known as 404 Patrick. And the reason why he's called 404 Patrick is if you've ever clicked on a link from a My Mini Factory pop-up in your browser, or from a link from someone else's page, and it came up with a broken link, you were treated with this page, and I'll show you right now. This is the 404 error that My Mini Factory has for their website. But if you've seen this, you may have clicked away pretty quick and didn't notice that you could download and 3D print 404 Patrick, otherwise known as Hammered Patrick. And I'll put the link for the model down in the description so you guys can download and print this one yourself. But I thought it was pretty cool. I was actually looking for a model to print that I wanted to print, and I got the 404 error. And normally I would just click away like any other time you see that 404 page missing error. But I noticed you could click on the link and it actually said, click here to download 404 Patrick. So I had to download, I had to check it out and go see what it looked like. And of course, it looks awesome. This is a very, very cool model. I love the fact that they used the Hammered Patrick version for their 404 error. I think that's pretty unique. Thumbs up, My Mini Factory. Good job on that one. And this is a very, very cool model. It comes in actually 3 pieces, and I've actually got the hammer just set in the hand. And I used a little bit of tape to stick on the little wooden piece, so I'll peel off the tape so we don't have to look at that during our little presentation here. But it comes in 3 pieces, and of course we printed the first piece, which is the little wood piece with the little nail in it, and we used MatterHackers Pro Series Brown for this, and we used a 0.16 millimeter layer height. Now the model comes laying like this, flat, but I didn't want the surface of the wood where we're going to write 404 to be just a bunch of layer lines. So I flipped it up on its end, on its side like this, and I cut off a little bit of the bottom. So we did lose a little bit of that wood texture, wood look to the bottom. But that's okay, when it's sitting in here, you probably won't see it. And when my wife cleans it up, she'll clean up the edge, and she may add a little bit of detail to make it look like wood, even though it doesn't have the texture. But I thought that was a better idea, and of course I used a little bit of support material for the nail. And it's a little muddy underneath the nail there, but this is a pretty small print, and I expected a little muddiness. But all in all, this is a very, very clean print for the wood piece. And then I loaded up some of the MatterHackers Pro Series Silver for the hammer, and I printed this guy standing straight up with just a little bit of support for the claw part and the little gap here between the hammer head and the hammer handle. And this printed out perfectly. This is a very, very good print. The handle, I was a little worried about the under extrusion issues I've had like on the Omnom and other prints, but that printed out perfectly because we slowed this down to 25 millimeters per second at a 0.16 millimeter layer height. So this was a real easy print. Both the little piece of wood and the hammer took about an hour to print. And then it was moving on to Patrick. Now for Patrick, I used a 0.2 millimeter layer height because I assumed that the detail would be perfectly captured because my gMax is pretty much dialed in. And I was right. This is probably one of the cleanest prints I've seen off the gMax in a while. It is super, super clean. There are no signs of under extrusion or banding or any issues whatsoever. I actually did not clean this model up. I popped it off the print bed and I'm showing you guys the raw model. There is a few little retraction spikes here on his lip, and there was a little piece on the top, but it literally fell off, so that's gone. And there was a little retraction spike on his hand, but that fell off too. As far as the seam goes, I'm very happy that this guy did not open up like the Grand Canyon on my previous prints of the capsules. It's actually a very, very clean seam, and it'll be real easy for my wife to hide on the back there. And it is in a perfect position too, because it does not ruin any of the detail of the model. And there is a lot of detail on this model. He's actually got all those little pits on his body. There's no butt crack, but I think my wife will add that. He's got his little protruding belly button, but all the detail on this came out perfect. I mean, this is a super, super clean print. My gMax did a stellar job on this. There are no blobs, no globs, no layer skips, no layer shifts, no sign of banding, no sign of any problems whatsoever. So my settings on my gMax, I think, are pretty dialed in. I still want to figure out that issue with the capsules with the seam opening up, but I've gotten a lot of feedback from you guys, my subscribers, so I'm definitely going to try that out. And I might even publish a update video so you guys can see what I did to improve that seam. But as far as the Patrick, the 404 Patrick, aka Nailed Patrick, this print is perfect. This is an awesome, awesome print. This is some of that MatterHackers Pro Series Blond filament. And we did use 3 top layers, 3 bottom layers, 3 perimeters, and only 5% infill. Or on the wood piece, we used a 0.16 millimeter layer height with 3 top layers, 3 bottom layers, and 3 perimeters, and only 5% infill. And on the hammer, again, only 5% infill on this with the same perimeters, 3 perimeters, 3 top layers, 3 bottom layers. So these are all pretty similar prints. And once it gets all assembled and finished, my wife is going to do a stellar job on this. I know it, because this is a very, very popular item. I love Patrick. He's one of the funniest characters on SpongeBob. Anytime the kids are watching, I do actually stop and watch for a little while because it is a pretty funny show. But once it's all finished and all nice and cleaned up and all the paint is done, I'll definitely post some pictures up on Instagram. And my wife is starting up her own little YouTube channel where she's going to be doing some finishing work. So once she gets the channel going, I'll go back into the description and I'll add the link for her channel down below so you guys can click on it and see how the finishing process went for 404 Patrick, aka Nailed Patrick. But in the meantime, I'm super happy with this. This is a very, very cool print. Real huge thumbs up to my mini factory for using the Nailed Patrick as their 404 error. This is probably one of the coolest things I've seen on the internet in a long time. Well, that about wraps it up for day 255 of the 3DP 365 project. If you're looking for ways to support the channel, check out the affiliate links down in the description. By clicking on the GearBest, MatterHackers, or Amazon affiliate link and making a purchase, you kick a little bit back to the channel. It doesn't cost you a penny, and I really appreciate it. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment, like, and share those videos, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.